Howell.
Here.
Mitchell. Here. Thompson.
Here!
Roberta's not showing up.
She's training in Annington. She's on her way. She made her way.
So you're going to be able to keep notes of...
We'll have somebody keep notes. No, you don't want me to.
I'm thinking that it's going to be tough for you to keep notes and do that both.
Well, you can check it on YouTube tomorrow.
So, if you want to take notes, try to send them.
You loan that to her?
Since you were late, I'm going to appoint Cindy as clerk
keep
this
her.
evening, if that's all right with everybody. When you guys want to do it?
Maybe grab a piece of paper and write on it.
Let me get your tablet.
Negatives.
Oh,
I don't know. Thank you.
Either that or do that.
Push the button, see what it wants anyway.
Move right along. Hearing concerning the scope and the plans and the methods of what we're doing for the sewer project. I mean, the drawings have been here at the office available 6 weeks or so at least. And so, does anybody have any questions or any problems or any? Yes, ma'am.
Does this include the dredging?
No, not this
Does not
one.
include this one?
Yes, it does.
Well,
Dredging of the lagoon.
dredging, that Division 2, right?
Division
Yeah,
2.
you're right, it does.
Yes.
Is that okay? I just have some questions. I understand that in 2010 we had a company that measured all the debris. It said at that point, that's after 34 years, that we had like 1.5 feet. And the lowest two is 3 foot. So they said it would be another 15 to 20 years before we would have to do that. And I just wondered if this is something that we really need to do now.
The lowest 2 foot, not 3 foot, can have sludge in it. So 5 years ago you were at 1.5 feet. It's likely that you're going to have to expand the lagoon yet. At that time you would clean it to when you do that expansion. So what they were trying to do was move that lagoon dredging into this phase so that third phase wouldn't be quite so huge to split that up.
Well, I understand that we have a 6-month turnaround on the lagoons.
Yes.
So what would be the need for another lagoon if we are meeting that?
It's because it's not meeting it.
It's not meeting it?
It's not meeting it. Right.
That's what my question is.
Yeah, it's not meeting it now. It's supposed to be a 6-month turnaround,
Yeah.
but it doesn't meet that. Good question.
At what point do we get crossways with the DNR and where they're going to be after us for fines?
When you would stop trying to make improvements. That's really when you get crossways with them. If you're trying and to do the best you can, I shouldn't say the best you can. I mean, there's always another step better, but as long as you're moving forward, then they work with you pretty well.
Now, here recently, we've had a tremendous amount of rain.
Mm-hmm.
Have we noticed there's a flow meter down there, right?
Yes.
I'd like to go visit that someday.
Yes.
I'm going to be hopefully here setting up there in a few days or a week. But there's an inflow meter, correct?
Yes.
Do we notice any difference when we have these huge rains?
That was a huge jump with this last rain. Oh, I don't know the numbers well enough. Let's see, your population is 600. So I think you're normally getting around
Less than 400.
What's your population?
Less than 400.
400. Okay, thank you. But I think your normal inflow is around 50,000 gallons a day, and I believe it jumped up to about 200 that day.
Could I visit with you a little bit after the meeting? Is that appropriate?
Well,
Sure.
you can buy the coffee, I think.
I think the only thing stronger than coffee, right?
I can't do that, I gotta drive home.
So along Bob's line of questioning, what are the implications then if you weren't to move forward with this phase 2 in the DNR? Is that when the fines start, the fines are levied?
Yeah, well, it'd be a negotiation. I mean, they don't just send out a fine without talking to you.
So
So the officer would come up and you can try to argue your way out of a speeding ticket, I guess you could say, to put it in those terms, but...
What's the scope of those fines? What could be the max? What would be the min? Do you have any idea what we would be looking at for fines?
No, but it could be a daily fine. So regardless of whether that's $1,000 or $10,000, if it's daily, it's going to add up pretty
Right.
fast.
Okay.
If you've got an inflow meter that tells how much is going in,
Yes.
I asked a question back several months ago when phase 1 was completed,
It's-
if you had noticed any difference in the inflow going in, and nobody could answer that.
And you're correct. Nobody can answer that because the flow, we never get the exact same rain. Well, I don't get the exact same rain in 2011 that I got in 15. And so you can't exactly say whether it's made improvements or not. We assume it is, you think it is, but it's so weather dependent that it's really hard to nail that down. I wish I could answer that question better.
So we
And-
don't know whether we helped ourselves, let's do it half of the city. So we're just gonna go ahead and do the other half and hope that it's gonna help out. Is that,
I can say we know we helped it. It
How
had
much
to
did
have
we
helped it, but we don't know how much. That is true.
And part of the thing is, it doesn't make any difference what we think. The DNR said you do this, or else. And so that, that's the authority that they have. And to me, I was thinking of, we lined the sewers because
Yes.
we had sewage that was leaking out into the ground around.
Right.
And get into the groundwater and all that kind of stuff. So technically, we should increase the flow since we're not losing any of it.
No, you're thinking backwards. Nope, you're thinking backwards on that. Yeah, when you got rainfall and you got high groundwater, that water's going to come in.
that water goes in.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot bigger issue than, you're right, there might be some that escapes during dry weather, but that's pretty minor compared to what can come in.
I know we had our share of rain here recently.
But, this discussion started, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 years ago, as should we make these improvements in town, or should we expand the lagoon? And the decision then by, I'm going to say the council as a whole, was let's see everything we can do in town. And you're right, in hopes that would not have to expand the lagoon. And if you do have to expand the lagoon, at least you don't have to make it as big as you would otherwise. So it's not a definitive answer. It's not as clear-cut as you would like to hear. It's not as clear-cut as I would like to be able to answer. It's not a unique answer. It's very similar in every town that we work in, that you try to stop that inflow, but it's very, very difficult. You've made some good steps of doing the lining of the sewers. Manhole repairs have been done. been around and inspected all the houses. A lot of the sump pumps got disconnected. I don't know if they've been reconnected or not, which is possible. So you've made improvements, but on a sanitary sewer system, the city itself owns about half the sewers in town, and the other half of the sewer is from the street up to the house, and that's owned by the homeowners. So even though you make your sewers 100% perfect, you've still only taken care of half the sewers in town. That's the best I can answer it. It's a really good question. It does not have a good answer.
But the alternative of doing nothing could be worse, potentially.
Right, the alternative, we know it's going to get worse. I mean, over time, the sewers are going to develop bigger leaks, bigger cracks, so it's going to keep getting worse over time. So one thing you might say is even if you keep it as good as you had it last year, you've made an improvement. Another thing that you do is keep roots out. So there's places where it's under trees and you don't have, roots getting in there because you now don't have joints in that sewer. If you get roots in the sewer and starts backing up and backing into people's basements and then they start suing the city, then you've got another whole issue besides the DNR on your backs. You've got the citizens on your backs and you're not feeling very good about that either. So
Well, I've had
that's
people
happening in other
that called me that, down on my end of town that got water in their basement. One of them had a couple of foot, and they'd never ever had any water in the basement until the sewer was relined.
Well, and was that just from the recent rains?
Yep.
And that's where I'm saying that's why that rain is a whole lot different than a rain that you had 2 years ago. You didn't have that rain to compare to. I don't know how much rain you got. Was it 2 to 3 inches? Somewhere in that area.
Almost between 5 and 6.
5 and 6 inches over what time period?
Overnight.
Overnight. So over, you suppose, 8 hours?
Maybe a day or it might have been during the whole day.
I don't know.
My rain gauge is a 6-inch gauge, and it isn't very much running over.
Yeah. Well, when's the last time that's happened?
And the ground was totally saturated.
To begin with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of the water that people are using in their homes lately is from water, the oversaturation, and it's seeping into the home because there's no place else for it to go. And I just speak from my past experience with insurance, we see it quite a bit in there.
And so-
One in my basement is I can see it coming up through the cracks in the floor.
So if somebody has 2 foot of water in their basement, and they have a floor drain, and that floor drain's going into the sewer, like I said, you can have your sewer in perfect condition, but that foundation is leaking, that water's going to get in there.
Can you clarify again the timeline when all of this started? You said 7 or 8 years ago this whole process started. Do you remember when that was?
I don't remember the exact time, no, I don't. And I don't have that report with me at all to know.
There was one study that they said was done in 2010.
I think that's when we take it out.
That's probably, yeah. So we would have started talking about it in probably 08, developing it in 09, and got it submitted in 10. That seems about right. There's some good questions and they're tough questions.
Any other questions about this?
Well, we're looking for $400,000. That ain't the chicken feed.
No, it's not.
They don't just pop up out of the,
Right.
I know we're getting the drain discovery part of it, but,
But not all of it.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at $10, $15 a month on everybody's sewage bill over a period of, say, 2 to 3 years going up. And I don't know too many people in town that really think that that's a really good deal.
Do you know if that's the correct number or not?
$12.
What, $12? Is that what you're thinking? Yeah.
Total, we don't have to do it all at one time.
Yeah, okay, right, I do remember talking about
Eventually
that.
we get to the point that if going to, the total $12 a month. We did $4 this year, and then
There's still a little bit of time. Or
642 or something like that, but yeah, but that's something we'll have to address later.
And presumably that's the average per person. So the person that's only using 1,500 gallons a month, they would be less than the $12, and the person that's using 8,000 gallons a month.
Yeah, we had figured we had 167 users.
Okay.
And we divided what we needed by 167, took that, divided that by 20 years and months, and got that, so we got to 1068.
And you put that on the minimum?
Yeah.
I see, got you. You're right, then it would affect everybody the same. You're right.
So if you started studying this back in 2007 or 8 and realized that you had to do something and there would be some expenses, do you know if there was a sewer increase back then so that the cost wouldn't all be so significant at the last minute?
I got here in 2011. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I do know that I've seen that it's one of those things that we may not like it, but we either do it now this way, or we put it off, and then the DNR comes in, and they do fine by the day.
But
Just like, and then it'll end up being, the fine, you have to pay the fine, plus you have to pay sewer there.
You still have to make the improvements,
So
yes.
it'll be it's going to cost much more if we get to that. And that point, say that may not come for a year and a half or 2 years, but when it comes, you're still going to, this cost is going to go up. Plus, you're going to have to pay that every day per day.
But there could have been some pre-planning.
Well, we don't pre-plan.
Of course not.
We don't do anything after the fact. Is there any other?
Well, I mean, you can say that, but
Yeah.
I don't know what you would have gained. So, I mean, had you raised the sewer bill by $2 a month 3 years ago, well, now you'd be raising it by 10 instead by raising it by 12, but people have been paying $2 for 3 years when they wouldn't have had to. So you can think of that either way.
That's
But you
$36
could
a year times 100 and how many? You're still looking at less than $5,000 a year.
It's a peanuts,
Oh.
yeah, right. Yeah.
But it's the perception of the increase, I think, that's going to get
Right,
people
uh-huh.
irate.
Right.
If you'd have done it incrementally, it would have been easier to swallow than all of a sudden a huge
That's
increase
why I
all at
don't want
once.
to do $12 at one time for some reason, try to graduate, and bring in gradually, but it's, I have to pay to I don't like that. Any other questions concerning the project itself?
Good questions.
All right, I entertain a motion to close this public hearing. I'll make a motion to close this public hearing.
Second.
And all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign. Motion carries 4 ayes, no nays. All right, now, call to order the second public hearing, which has to do with the loan part of this project. So, DeWild,
Here.
Howe,
Here.
Mitchell, here, Thompson, here. I remember last time I said screechiness back there. All right. The loan. That was Payne. The proposed loan is, that we're proposing is to cover is not to exceed $450,000. That will be paid back over 20 years, just like the last one. We hopefully aren't going to need that much. We didn't need that much last time. But if we say, oh, we're just going to make it for $350,000, and then we get to the point that we need another $75,000, we got to go through the whole process again and pay the fees and all those things, and we're better off to approve the up to, and maybe not have to use it. So, are there any questions? We already had some questions about the amount of money. We've talked about already how we're going to pay it back. Unless someone wants to write a big check, we're going to have to do it as like we do a little bit at a time. Could put a toll in town, couldn't we? Everybody in the city.
Oh, no, I don't know how many times I've driven
Well,
down
you're,
town.
you belong, you're a citizen. You get a pass, you wouldn't have to people that aren't citizens.
Okay, I can handle it.
But anybody have any questions about that process of the now, whatever, other than what we already covered?
I probably should bring up that that the legislators have put a thing in place called the disadvantaged communities, so that when your bill reaches a certain level, then you can, we'll say, delay those costs because the bills are getting what they would call unaffordable. And the reason they would do that is because the people that would loan you the money would start seeing that, well, probably not going to pay the loan back anyway because the people don't have enough money to do it, so there's no use loaning you any money. So I think there's a potential of that happening before you would go into third phase. So if that helps a little bit. And I don't know, but I know you're not in that case right now.
Right, but they will get, yes.
Bill, I got a question I wanted to ask. I know Bill Mitchell has been down and seen that on there. Have you ever been down there?
Yes.
Don, have you?
No, I have not.
Have you seen it?
It's been a while, yeah.
I've never been there either. I didn't even know how to go get there. Outside of it's down that little gravel road.
Well, you have to, you don't have the key, you have to find it.
I think that us as a council, and include our newly elected council member, we should make an arrangement to all of us meet and go down there and take a look at it.
I think we need to do that, and that is, not in the public hearing, but I think that's not a bad idea.
I have asked to go here sometimes, but when Dave could take me, I was busy, so.
No, I don't have a problem with doing that.
It's not a secret. So, I think we should go.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
You can see that, of course, any day now, but when, as part of this project, they're going to drain it down and see how much sludge is in there. So that might be a time that you'd like to see how much sludge is in the bottom, to get an eyeball on it. It doesn't stink, it's not that
I know,
awful,
yeah, that's what they all say. I'll often find the guys say that too, but it's not true.
All right, raised hogs.
Well, people at the hog farm say that too.
Yeah, but what, must be the little hairs of the nose get warped or something. All right, I would move that, it's entertained motion to close the hearing concerning the loan. Make a motion to close the hearing concerning the loan. Second,
What's that?
all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries 4 ayes, none opposed. All right. Our special meeting, we're calling that to order. DeWild,
Here.
Howe,
Here.
Mitchell, Thompson,
Here.
all present and accounted for. All right, now then, we need to pass a resolution concerning the project itself, right? Okay. And I have this resolution here. They wrote it out for us. Whereas the City Council of the City of Blakesbug has hereto given preliminary approval to plan specification form of contracts, estimate of cost, with road sanitary sewer improvements. A project is described in the resolution providing for notice of the hearing, the contract details of the project taken care of, and whereas the hearing has been held on the contract documents, now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Blakesbug that contract documents referred to in the preamble here are hereby finally approved, and the prior action City Council gave preliminary approval is hereby finally confirmed. The project is provided with contract documents as necessary and desirable. Secondly, all resolutions or parts of the resolution contract period are hereby reviewed and extended such contract. When we started this phase 1, that's when all this started, and that's what talked about previous contracts and all those things. So what this resolution is we're approving the scope of this project in phase 2, phase 2 and phase 3, right? Oh, no, this is phase 2, we put everything in phase 2.
Yes.
All right, so I need a motion. This is resolution 15.20.7.1. If someone move it here, would approve that, I would appreciate it.
Resolution. A motion that we accept resolution 15.20.1.
Is there
That's seven.
7.1?
Sorry.
Is there a second?
It's the date.
Yes, and then we have two resolutions, one and one. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
That takes a roll call.
We'll do it secondary. All those opposed, the same sign. Okay, roll call. Say aye or nay. Wild,
Aye.
Howe,
Aye.
Mitchell,
Aye.
Thompson.
Aye.
Motion carries 4 ayes and no nays. Yes, Larry, yes.
Oh, thank you.
All right, now then, we need to have a resolution concerning the loan itself. Is that right, Ken?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, let me find it. I have it right here. This will be resolution 15.20.7.3 actually. Or dot 2, make it dot 2. I'm going to make this one dot 3. And that's approving the amount up to $450,000 for the loan reserve. Entertain a motion to approve that. All right, is there a second? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Sign. Roll call. Wild.
Aye.
Howe.
Aye.
Mitchell. Thompson. Motion carries. Resolution number 15.20.7.2. All right, now then, what are the points in the agenda that we're going to... We need to open these bids. And first we're going to take care of the fire department first, then the ten, and then we're going to open the bids under the fire department agreements and CDBG.
That works fine.
All right, I think we were all there, except for Donna, she's a little bit late. Fire department came last month, and in negotiations, and talks with the townships that we serve, which, what are there? 8 of them? Or 10? There are a number of them that they have agreements and contracts that they pay, but, and then we provide the fire and rescue, the fire department. They have talked to the township representatives, and they have talked to us. What they would like to do is to unencumber the city concerning the fire department, some of their expenses and some of those things. That the townships would form a fire board with representatives from each one of the townships and a representative from the city of Blakesbug. That the fire department would be under that board instead of under the auspices of the city. This is not a process that's going to happen next month. But what we would like to do tonight is the proposal is given, there'll be more details coming later, but try to get the county attorney involved in the paperwork. Eddyville's done this, agency's done it, a number of the other cities our size and less have done it. It just takes the burden away from us. All the loans that they have for their truck, any of those kind of things would be rolled over and would become the responsibility of the new fire board, and not our responsibility. All that way, so that goes. They would enter into 2080 agreements with us, or each one of the townships, the amount of money that we would be given by the city to the fire department will remain probably exactly the same as what the other townships are going to be paying, will remain the same, so it's not going to increase, and they will continue to provide their service and staff. So what we need tonight is a motion that we allow them to go forward with this proposal and get the county crew involved and the legalities and getting this set up as far as that goes. There will come a time later that we will vote on, yes, do we approve this, or no, we don't approve it, but tonight we just need so that they can go ahead and go further than they want to get that started. Okay, is there a second? All right, did you get that motion down?
No, I forgot to write.
All that I said?
So what is the motion?
The motion is that we give the fire department permission to continue exploring the idea of becoming the auspices of the fire board, which members will be one from each of the townships and one on the city of Blakesbug. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same sign. Motion carries 4 ayes, no nays. All right. Now then, putting up the 10 for bids. You notice that the roofs have been replaced on this building and the fire department, and also the museum and the bid down the ball field to replace the roofs down there due to the storm we had last almost a year ago, hasn't it?
Over here.
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was finally done, and we have some tin. They left tin that they took off, which is being used, and then it's my understanding they left some tin out there that we paid for that hasn't been used. I don't know how many sheets are out there, but there's some. We'd like to sell that and put it up for bids. And my suggestion, I talked to a couple of people, is that we put up a bid in lots of 10 sheets, and we get a bid for 10 sheets, and then whoever is the highest bidder on those 10 sheets, they can take all of them, or they can take 50 sheets or 10, however many lots they want, and then whoever else is interested will pay the same amount as the highest bid. Does that make sense? That way we may be able to spread it around more people can use it. Maybe the person gets the new ones at all, I don't know. All right. So I would entertain a motion that we...
I make a motion that we put it up for bid, advertise.
Okay, lots of 10 sheets?
Yes.
Lots of 10 sheets. Okay, we'll advertise that. Let's... this motion taken care of. All right. All those in favor, signify. You make a motion.
Yes.
John, second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. 4 ayes. No. Let's, as far as that goes, let's open those bids at the next regularly scheduled meeting. That will have to be in the advertisement. But we'll open those bids at the next regularly scheduled meeting, which will be August 4th. August 10th.
Where are you going to advertise?
I'm going to put it on the bulletin board in the post office.
Great option.
In the Italian career, we'll put it in the career.
C-store might let you hang it. You never know.
We really ought to start putting stuff in that evening post thing that comes in the mail that everybody gets. But I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't take the paper.
And I know, I'd have to look and see where we can put our minutes and stuff in there because I know there's a... Well, yes, sir, Mr. Christopher.
Did they put a copy out here in the front office?
Well, yeah, we'll put one here and we'll put one at the C-store. Sometimes we display things down at the elevator and then put it in the paper. I don't know, we actually have to put it in the paper if we advertise. If we have to put it in the paper, we will. If we don't, we'll just put it in another place.
So that's the way be in the paper.
Yeah. All right. Now we're up to the CDBG. We have the bids here. We have bids for Division 1 and Division 2.
Bill, could I just come up and use that
You
chair and
certainly
sit
can.
beside you?
And Ken's going to open this, because he has to look to make sure they have, you want to use that table over there?
Well, I could just sit there. If you want to look at them too,
Yes, yes.
And then I can...
Division 1 has to do with the relining of the sewer, and Division 2 has to do with the dredging of the lagoon. You think it can go?
Maybe not. If you want something to write it down, that's all that's for.
Let's do Division 1 first on that side.
Seems like to be a logical order.
Let's do this one here. Wasted 2 times. Yes, oh, I didn't bring a letter. Hold on. I got it.
You got one.
You can't excuse me trying to stab it.
You got one out of the drawer. I was sitting there. Yeah, grant money.
I know, that's my favorite.
That makes sense.
Here you go.
Well, in a way,
Finish the question.
well, I didn't think it, you didn't think the dealership would be over 440. And they're coming up at 545. That's $105,000.
But you have grant money to cover that.
See, the $450,000 is after the grant money. This doesn't include any grant money. And grant money is what?
$300,000.
$300,000. So take this and then away from that, then that's where we get the $450,000 since it would come after the grant's paid. So this being what, 545? So we take away $300,000 for grant, that leaves us $245. We'll be close to what we hope we end up borrowing in the $450,000. That leaves us to cover it just in case. Okay?
All I did here was open the bids on. And what I left here is make sure that we have 10% Michelle approved the form, and that it's signed in 4 places. And then this is the attorney that signs it, and her name is Barbara Hole, and she must be in Travelers Management. And then we want to make sure that she's got authority to sign it. This is her power of attorney, so we're going to show here somewhere. There it is. So she's got power of attorney to sign it. So we know that bid bond is good. Then we can open the bid. Well, this one I had open last time you got here. Oh, this included the whole book. That's why we got this.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's... This is what you sent them, right?
Yes, this is what
What, you can read that the next 10 minutes?
Okay, here's their bid, and this is from In Situ Form Technologies, and they're out of Chesterfield, Missouri, which is right next to St. Louis.
Give that to, she might write that down.
You check here and see that there were 2 addendums, and they acknowledge that they got that. There's their bid, and there they signed the bid, so it looks like that's a bid. So that first one for Division 1 from In Situ Form, their total, would you want to read that, or you want to read it?
I'll do it since it's...
That's right, that's what I was seeing.
$340,048. And that's for the lining of the sewer. And the fixing the manholes and those kind of things, okay?
What was the name of that outfit?
In Situ Form. INSITU. And then it'd be form, F-O-R-M.
Hold on, I got it.
Chesterfield, Missouri, would be Ashland. And is there another one for Division 1?
Let's see, yeah. This says,
It is That would be Division 1, so you open this bid line first.
Okay. That's on the two, no, Nutraject, you got two. That's a good two.
That's for Division 2. So we do the same thing here. Here's the bid line for 10%, which is good. It's all been signed. Maybe unknown for Merchants Bonding Company, Merchants Bonding Company, and you see the right there. Okay, so the bid line's good. Then you can open the bid if you like, or you want to So this one is from Municipal Pipe Tool. And they are from Hudson, Iowa. They got two amendments that they acknowledge. There's their bid. And they signed it, they acknowledged it. So looks like a good bid
This
from
is
them.
Pipestone.
It's Municipal Pipe Tool.
And their bid is $265,406.25. 406.25. And then we have, this is another one, those are two. I'm going to open this is Visu's.
Visu Sewer. VISU
Yeah.
Sewer. SWER.
They're from Wisconsin.
Oh, Pewaukee.
Pewaukee. Yeah, it's outside of Milwaukee.
I'm not really getting that one about seeing the last name.
Pewaukee,
What's the?
Wisconsin.
Yep.
Started with a P.
Peter. There's Pewaukee, there's Zilwaukee, and Milwaukee. That's all that I got. $289,042.50. There's a bunch of them right there. We just keep throwing them up there.
I think that's all of Division 1.
I believe so, yes. These say Division 2, Division 2, Division 2.
Okay.
Moving on to Division 2.
Yes. That should be their office. This one is from Nutraject Systems.
There you go.
N-U-T-R-I. J-E-C-T. Hudson, Iowa, which is near Waterloo.
This is for Division 2, right? Yes. This is Division 2. And their bid for the sludge removal, disposal, over that, and all the dust control, cleanup for like seawalls and all, $227,282. $282.00. For 27. Yeah, I wasn't going to say that. I was thinking it.
This one comes from Blakesbug Reserve Works. I think that's Oskaloosa. Oh, that one. Yeah.
Left the dirt works in total was $191,700. So now then, I'm going to read these things here. I got all these notes from this lawyer. Here it is right here. We need to pass a resolution. Which one of these we want to accept? You want to discuss it? You want to...
Is there anything that says we have to accept the lowest bid?
No, we didn't think so. We didn't last time. What are you thinking, Bill?
We had this bid out this
No.
They're the ones that did all your videotaping. Remember, you hired the company to do your videotaping. They videotape 20% of it every year for 5 years. And that was the company that did that. So all three of those are reputable companies.
I saw the list.
Or I should say all five of them are actually. Well, yeah, those two also. Yeah.
Did you serve it all over last year?
Yes. And the last time was like $5,000. Yeah.
Total between the two, $457,106.
Which is less than we projected, which is always good. Which means that means you're lower less. All right, I guess we need a motion as to which of those we're going to accept. And then municipal pipe and whatever is it called?
Municipal piping
Tool has a lowest bid for the line in the sewer and Leffler Dirt Works.
What company was the one that actually done the lining the last time?
Vision C. They were like, I think last time they were $5,000. This year you're talking about that's $44,000. So, yes, we're pretty much locked into the lowest bidder. I mean, that's the way the system works.
I would make a motion then that we accept the bid from Municipal Piping Tool for Division 1 sewer improvement and Electric Dirt Works from Oskaloosa for Division 2 work in dredging.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion?
Before you go, I just want to make sure that it's contingent upon our final review, looking through
by the numbers of that.
Yes.
And also we submit it to DNR and make sure clear approval on that. So it is contingent on those things.
Okay, contingent upon approval by the DNR and Frank Reiniger.
Is there a second to that motion?
He already did.
He already,
I thought I did.
I was listening. Larry already seconded.
Yeah.
You don't need a second to second. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Roll call to Wild, Powell,
Aye.
Mitchell,
Aye.
Thompson. Aye. 4 ayes, no nays. Okay, so that's taken care of. So we just sent out $300,000.
All right, get it back in king, though.
Yeah. Is there any other public comments? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. Is there any city ordinance that you need a permit to put up signage either on private or commercial property in the city of Blakesbug? Is there a city ordinance on that?
And put up a sign in private property.
Signage, like a display board. Is there a size requirement? Is there anything that prevents you from doing that? Yeah.
I don't know that we have an ordinance, and from what I understand, we don't have an ordinance. If the state of Iowa has one, and it reverts whatever theirs is,
Okay.
which I don't know what it is.
Do you need, is there a permit process?
Probably there would be. I mean, if you're going to put up a billboard, I'm guessing it probably would have to be on your property or something. I mean, just trying to think, but I guess the answer to the question would be, I really don't know what that process is like.
Public announcement board.
Like,
Public announcement for the meetings.
I would think if it was on private property, that there wouldn't need to be that.
it seems,
That'd be my personal feelings on it.
yeah, I'm sorry, that's my problem.
Might be a permit required, because you're putting a structure up of some kind, but it's not their house.
If it goes into the ground, you say you have to have a building permit.
It goes into the ground.
You dig holes for a fence or for a fence post or whatever that is. It sits on top of the ground and it's not attached to your house. So I guess on skids, and I don't think your permit is required. There would be something like the alleys where there's 10 or 15 feet from that little, so far from the middle of the street, you couldn't put it down on between the sidewalk and the street, there's all kind of things, but as far as I know, that's what we would do with that.
So if you put,
And it was indecent, we probably had to take it down. Put indecent pictures on it or something.
it may get more attention.
Any other comments, questions? All right, is there any old business?
Yes. I've been approached about another dangerous intersection. And I've just kind of been driving around town and seeing several others where there are problems. And again, the intersection there by my house is one in question. Can we put this on the agenda for next time? And would somebody like to drive around town with me? And
We already gave you permission to cut your tree down.
my tree isn't the problem. It's a tree of prayer.
That big one?
It's a little one. It's just a low one. It would need to be cut down, just trim that. But that, yeah, see the vacant property between us,
Yes.
all those trees cover our lawn.
Well,
On our section, but that's not the
I
only
keep
intersection.
trying to
I know.
trim theirs down.
But that's not the only problem. So I wondered if somebody on the council would be willing to take a little drive around town with me
Not be
sometime.
glad to.
I've seen you cut the last.
What?
Is there any new business?
Just give me a call, I'll be glad to go.
All right, you make a note to put that on the agenda for next time.
Thank you. And the lady that nearly got clobbered the other day, well, thank you too.
All right. Any new business? Other than
Tree.
No, it's a dangerous intersection.
dangerous intersections.
Number one.
Yes, sir.
All those nice big trees that line the park, and some in the park, are probably ash trees. And a gentleman approached me, are we gonna try to save them? I've been trying to get some info from DNR and, you know, like free type, somebody come out and make an evaluation. So far, I haven't been able to do that. It's gonna cost a lot to cut them down, and they cost a lot to treat them, so it's coming down the road, unfortunately, I think.
That Emerald Ash Board is in Wapello County, it's in Athens County, it's in Davis, and we're in the corner of a lot of those. And I know cities that we're talking about millions of dollars because they've got city streets lined with that. And I don't know what hours they're infected, but if they're not, we either have to treat them or something, if somebody can do it inexpensive or whatever, maybe get people to donate, but it's not an issue now, but it will be an issue, yes.
Down in the east end of town, I've got two smallish ones that are really bad shape, and an old one that's got dieback in the top, so you're looking 3 or 4 blocks away.
Yeah, it's running out. So that's something we can have to look at.
Who is the extension agent at Monroe County, Dale, that just retired?
Mark.
Huh?
Mark Carlson.
Just retired and has some property around Blakesbug. He might be willing to come in as a consultant at no charge.
That might be a good idea, maybe we can get a cost and ask him several times to look at them, because if they're not infected, it would be nice if we could do something to keep them that way.
We have a couple that wants to help pay for it.
Somebody around there, we will. So why don't you guys can volunteer to do that, and then if we use that point, we'll come to bring it to council as far as what we want to do. Yeah, we just put in the mature trees. Yeah. We lost all those elm trees in the town, and I remember all those. All right. If there's nothing else, I would make a motion. Is there a second? Got a third. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Third.
Aye. Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried, meeting adjourned. Yeah.